dusty road stretches out so far, under the light of a single wandering star.
I've chased the neon and the city height, but nothing feels as warm as the kitchen light.
I'm tired of the noise and the concrete sky. I need the place where the river runs by.
Hi guys. So next step, you're going to get another email, okay? And this email is going to let you know if you have not been selected to go to the next steps, or if you have been selected to go to the next steps. And your next steps is the on-site face-to-face interview. Now this interview includes you going to whatever their home base is. They will pay for your flights only, okay? You will have to get hotel and travel accommodations from the airport to your hotel. Now, if you get a hotel by where the site is, most likely you can take a shuttle to whatever hotel, but you are responsible for those prices. The travels from the hotel to your room in your room. They only pay for flights, okay? I end up getting a face-to-face with Delta, okay, and the airlines that I got my CJO with now, okay? So those are the two face-to-face on-site interviews that I did get, okay? Now, let me tell you about my experience with Delta. So with Delta, I did get a face-to-face on-site interview, okay? And I met this girl on TikTok who's a flight attendant, and she gave me some advice, okay? Now, make sure that you read, when you get an on-site interview, make sure you read every detail that they send you in your email. How you supposed to look, okay? How you supposed to look on an airplane, because they have people on the airplane to assess you also. That is part of your interview. That's why they book the flights. How you act with customers, how you act with the flight attendants, the pilot, how you dress. These are things they looking at on the plane and in the airport. Where you go, how many drinks you having while you wait. If your flight get delayed, how do you handle that? I will explain that too. That's going to be a whole nother video, okay? But I'm telling you these things because this is what I found out, right? So read the details on what to wear to your interview, okay? You have to be business casual on them flights they are paying for to get you to the on-site interview, okay? Business casual. So the way you would look, business casual, short earrings, not too much of the makeup, professionally dressed, you need to look like that on the flight also. I'm being honest, okay? If your flight get delayed, call customer service with respect, not upset, and see what they can accommodate you with if you have to stay overnight, okay? Also, when you're waiting in the airport, don't go to no bar over drinking. Get you a nice little cutesy drink if you're a lady, or a man, one little scotch, okay? Don't be over there throwing down drinks and stuff. They pay attention to that stuff, okay? Just to let you guys know, when you're at the airport and the flight they paid for to get you to site, they are looking, okay? Now, once you make it to your hotel, okay, make sure you lay your clothes out. Make sure they're not wrinkled. Make sure everything is set out. My mistake is I don't usually wear earrings. When I got dressed next day to go to Delta's on-site interview, my hotel, everything was good except for I put on hoop earrings, right? And so once I took my Uber, I did take an Uber from my hotel to the Delta's home base in Atlanta. I took my Uber from the hotel to the base, and I got there an hour early, okay, to look around, to see everybody, how they looked and everything and stuff like that. They make you go sit in the lunch area until it's time for y'all to go in and interview. Now, when you get ready to go to interview, you will end up in a walk to another building where all the potential flight attendants, all the candidates that they chose will be there. Make sure you are interacting with everyone you see. Okay? This is how they show that you're a people person. You can communicate, you can talk, you know how to greet, you do customer service. They want to see that all. I don't care if you walk up to somebody and be like, hey, nice shoes, where you get those from? They want to see you communicate with everybody. Literally, you have to talk to everybody, even the recruiters. Make sure you talk to everybody you see. Have a smile, be yourself. Just have a smile, be yourself. All that good old stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to the earrings, okay? But hold on. They let you go use the bathroom. When you go to the bathroom, if you have tattoos, small visible tattoos that you already covered up, do not go in the bathroom and touch them up. They're watching you in the bathroom. They send some recruiters you don't know are recruiters. They send them in the bathroom with you. And if you touching up spots with makeup, tattoos, you will be eliminated. These are elimination processes. How you look on the plane, how you traveling, how you drinking, how you dress, how you look, how you communicate and talking to everybody. These are all elimination processes, okay? My interview literally on site, and not Delta because they sent me home the first round. But the one I got the CJO for, my interview was literally on site for 6 hours. So everything you do from when you go to the airport and book them flights, you are being watched. Now, at the Delta one, the one I didn't get, okay, after you communicate and stuff, they let you go to the bathroom. Make sure you're not touching up any tattoos or anything because they are watching you, okay? Come out, still communicate with everybody. What they also do, they do a number thing. If you're number 6, you're going home. I was number 6, right? And it was me and another girl. But if you in any numbers before that, you go into the next round, okay? I was number 6 simply because, again, remember I said I don't wear earrings usually. But because I threw hoops on, trying to be like, let me, throw some hoops on, make some earrings. And let me throw some earrings on. And hoops was the only ones I had. And I put them on. They wasn't that big, but they was like this big. And that was the reason they sent me home. They sent another girl home with, they said her skirt was too little. So if you sitting down, that's why I should say wear pants. Wear a pantsuit. Because if your skirt is too short when you sit down, most likely you're going to go home. I don't think her skirt was that short because it still went to her knees when she was standing. But when she sat down, it raised up. And make sure your hair, I think it's because of her hair too, because her hair was kind of wild. Make sure your hair is pulled back, ladies. Men, make sure if you got dreads, pull your hair back. If you got long hair, pull your hair back. If you got short haircut, make sure it's cut nicely, okay? No visible tattoos. I got to keep saying this. Make sure y'all have y'all passports, okay? Have those, okay? Read everything they send you. Make sure you get everything they send you. Check your spam and everything because they are not calling you. Everything is done by email, okay? So, yes, okay? I was upset because I paid for hotel and travel to from the hotel to the airport, from the airport to the hotel, from the um, hotel to the thing. That cost me over $250. You know, so I was upset because I was feeling like you should have told me. I would have took the earrings out. But again, like I said, read everything. I went back and it said no hoops. I missed that part. And they do give you a chance to adjust, but I didn't see that. That was my bad. This is why I say make sure you pay attention. Okay? Even though they could have said just take them out and you can go on to the next round. They're not going to do that. They want to make sure you're paying attention to detail. Okay? And it was a learning lesson for the airlines that I have my CJO with now. Okay? So that's they was a stepping stone and a learning lesson for me. Okay? And it's a learning lesson for you. This is why I'm telling you guys that. Now, when I went for the new one, I did everything correctly. Okay? I dressed the part. I had on a pantsuit, a white collar shirt, button all the way up. As you can see, I have no visible tattoos. Okay? I wore no makeup. I wore pearl earrings. On the flight, I wore my short ball here. Okay? I even did a dress change during my flights because I had a layover. First flight, I wore a long sweater dress that came all the way down to my calves. Okay, it was really professional and cute. You know what I'm saying? Then I think in Atlanta, when I landed, I changed into, no, not in Atlanta. When I got to Denver, where their home base was, I changed into a pantsuit. Yeah, I was professionally dressed. And when I went to a restaurant, I went to Fridays, I ordered me an espresso martini in a nice little martini glass. And I had me some dinner. My flight got canceled. I ended up staying the night in Atlanta. I ended up calling customer service, see what they can do for me. They gave me the next flight. Okay. This is why they say never take the day of interview because you never know what might happen. Always take the day before or 2 days before, but the day before interview because you never know, or 2 days before because you never know. I took the 2 days before. Yep. And I end up staying in Atlanta a night and being in Atlanta a whole day and then going to Detroit, Denver that next night. Once I met somebody that next morning when I got ready to go, pearl earrings, everything. I'm dressed to the T. Another man was staying at the same hotel as me. I had a hotel close by where the shuttle took us to the interview because the interview was at the airport. So the only thing, I didn't even have to pay for hotel because they paid for that because simple fact is our flight got canceled. But I did pay for the hotel in Denver. Okay. But I had a shuttle so I didn't have to pay for transportation. Neither way. Okay. And I met a man and he was talking, he was going to the same interview, so we clicked. And then once we made it there, we got there a little hour early, so we met another lady who was sitting by herself. We sat with her and we clicked and we all, practiced together because they was previous flight attendants somewhere else. So if you can get with somebody that already have the flight attendant experience, you have this in the bag because then they went over everything with me, what I should do, how I should do things, and things of this nature. So we pre-game, not had no drinks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't eat anything. I didn't drink anything because I didn't want to have to go to the bathroom doing any of the process, right? Unless they dismiss us to go. So we went down, and now we're talking to everybody. You know, you got to communicate with everybody. Make sure you, remember I said touch everybody. Touch everybody. Talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They want to see how your customer service is, how you communicate, all those things. Then, okay. So I'm going to stop the video here because I'm telling you, I'm going into your interview process. And I'm going to repeat some of these things again, the beginnings. But now we're going into the interview process on site. The one I got my CJO for. So, see y'all next video on the interview process. 6 hours. 6 hours. So be prepared. The interview process was 6 hours. The next video ain't gonna be 6 hours, but the interview process was 6 hours long. Okay? So, checking out. Bye.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.